Welcome to Object Oriented Programming. By the end of this video, you will understand what object oriented programming is, create classes and objects, use attributes and methods, understand double underscore init and double underscore function. Think in scalable program structure. If you are serious about becoming a real developer, hit like and subscribe to this channel and comment object oriented programming if you are ready to level up. So, first of all, what is OOPS? Procedural code runs step by step. OOPS organize code around objects. Objects group data plus behavior together. So let's create our first class. So to create a class, you'll have to write class like this, and then you can add any object in the class. This is a blueprint, not an actual user yet. To create this an object, for example, this to create this thing, the class as object, we will use a variable type variable here, and then we'll call the class here like this. So now if you say print u1 and run it, it will show you main user object at like this. Now we created an object from the blueprint. Now let's try adding attributes with double underscore init. So for that, we will use this class only, and we will create a function saying double underscore init, and it will be saying self, and then we'll add arguments in it saying name, role. And remember, self is not an argument here. And then we'll say self.name equals to name. Means the name is like taking argument name. Dot role equals to role. Okay, to create an object of these, now we will say u1 equals to user, and then say admin, and role will be administrator, not password. I was about to say password. And then we'll print u1 dot name and u1 dot role. And if you run it now, it will say admin and administrator, because we gave this as name and this as role here. If you interchange these, your name will be administrator and role will be admin. And init runs automatically when object is created. So for example, we created an object here, so it will run automatically. Now let's try adding some methods. So for example, let's just add other stuff in here only. So let's create a program saying def greet, means function greet, and we'll use self here, and hello self.name. And for this one, we will say print u1 dot greet. Okay, and you can print it as like this too, u1 greet, like this too. Okay, actually, okay, don't print it like this one because it's printing the object memory address. So don't print it like this one. Okay, so now if when we printed this u dot greet, we called this function, we called this greet function from the class, we got hello admin, which is pretty nice. And methods are functions inside classes. Now let's try to understand self, not ourselves, but the self keyword here. Okay, self refers to the current object. Without self, Python doesn't know which object you are talking about. So when you don't call self, Python don't know like which object you are talking about. It's simple like that. Now we will look at a log analyzer class here. We will like make another log analyzer using classes now. Let's call our class log analyzer, and We'll make a init function here. Self.logs. Self.logs. Again, logs. Def count underscore failed. Self count underscore equals to 0 for line in self.logs. If failed in line count plus equals to 1, return count. Okay, so first let's discuss what's happening here. We created a class named log analyzer, then we created an init function. Okay, I made a mistake here. And then we are expecting a argument for the variable logs. Then we stored the logs in the like this argument here. Then we made a function for the count failed method. Sorry, dot for the count failed, and we took count equals to 0. And here we ran a for loop, and whenever the like file have the failed word, count will increase, and after the loop will be completed, it will return the count actual number, like what will be the count number in the last run. Okay, so now we will create logs in list format, saying admin failed, Alice success, admin failed, and that's it. And then we create a variable, or you can, sorry, not variable. Then we will create a object of a log analyzer class, and then we print it using and now we are printing it here with count failed function here. Now your tool is structured. Okay, so now if you run it, it will say 2. Why? Because only like the logs list only have 2 failed attempts. So now let's talk about common beginner mistakes. First one is forgetting self. If you don't use self, for example, if I remove this from here, your program won't run it. In this case, it's saying take one position argument, but 2 were given. And second is confusing class versus object. So in case you are confused about what is class, what is object, this is class, like it's initialized with the word class, keyword class, and here we are creating it an object to call it. And overcomplicating small scripts is the last common beginner mistake. You just moved from scripting to structuring. This is how real applications are built. Thank you guys for watching.